So, the first Spider-Man film was flawed but highly entertaining. The second was a huge improvement and a legitimately good movie. And I don't mean good for a superhero movie, but good. You know, there's so many good superheroes movies now that I think we've forgotten that Spider-Man 2 went a long way towards legitimizing the whole thing. Spider-Man 3, on the other hand, not so much. I had high hopes for a sequel. We had the same cast and director of the first two, and it seems like he was on an upward trend. But then these little doubts start creeping in when you find out more and more about the movie, such as there being multiple villains. Part of what I liked about the first two films is that they avoided loading it up with villains. You had the Green Goblin in the first film, and Dr. Octopus in the second one. Putting more than one villain in a movie can work under certain circumstances, but having just one helps let those characters shine more. And for a lot of people, the villains are what makes these movies interesting. When Sam Raimi announced that there would be 4 villains, I was worried. Well, there really isn't 4, there's 3. But I see where he's going. We have the Sandman, Venom, and the new Goblin, who is the son of the original Green Goblin, and also Peter's best friend. Raimi claims that the 4th villain was Spider-Man himself as he becomes corrupted by the black suit, which he eventually sheds and it bonds with Eddie Brock to become Venom. That right there is already a great plot for a Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man becomes corrupted, redeems himself, but the corrupting influence binds itself to someone else to create his greatest foe. Harry Osborn's madness and anger finally consuming him, and him becoming the new Goblin, that's another great movie idea. Spider-Man has to fight his best friend. And the Sandman, well, he was never really a great villain, but they promised to tie him into Spider-Man's origin by revealing that he may have had something to do with Uncle Ben's death, tying it back to the first movie. This could also work as its own film. The issue is, instead of doing these films, they did them all at once in one movie. And what's more worrying is the huge amount of studio influence, as Raimi disliked the Venom character and never wanted to use him, but was roped into it by Sony Pictures. So how is it? Well, it's a mess. There's too many plots going on, too many villains, and yeah, that goofy but seemingly plausible theory that you've heard about Harry's butler being a hallucination, it doesn't hold up, because he talks to Mary Jane. Then, of course, there's the really insane Sam Raimi gone-off-the-rails stuff, like Spider-Man going emo, singing and dancing, and a shoehorn version of Gwen Stacy that serves almost no purpose at all. Venom is played by Eric Foreman from that 70s show, the new Goblin is defeated early in the film, and the Sandman, he's interesting, but he disappears for the whole middle part of the movie. I can understand why they chose the reboot option after this, though I think that with a lot of the plot lines coming to a close at the end of this film, they could have continued onwards, just perhaps without Sam Raimi. That's not to say, though, that this film has no good parts. Yes, emo Peter is silly and stupid, but the way that he pulls out of it is rather great, and I love the scenes with him and his landlord's awkward daughter. I'm over the whole Peter and Mary Jane drama, and the black suit literally comes out of nowhere, but hey, we did get some decent fight scenes and special effects. Now, I'm grasping at straws here because honestly, this is easily the worst Spider-Man film. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, with apologies to the rabid Sam Raimi fans. Not everything this guy does is good.